Hi everybody, welcome to the channel. Thank you for joining me today. Has it ever happened to you that you had a dream, that you had a plan, that you had something that you wanted to achieve and it really didn't happen? There wasn't something dramatic or big or eventful that happened. There wasn't a big wrench that was thrown in the machines of you trying to achieve your goal. Just over time it fizzled away and it didn't go anywhere. Well, if that is the case, first of all, you're not alone, it's not unique. And second of all, the reason may be that you didn't use the SMART method to set your goal. SMART, of course, is an acronym, and each one of the letters is one of the criteria that your goals should meet in order to be the most effective. In today's video, what I would like to do is go through each and one of those letters and explain to you what they mean, and close off with an example that I think everybody can relate to. At the very end, I'll also go into one of the downsides of using the SMART method and a way to circumvent it for the big dreamers out there. So that said, let's dive into the letter S of SMART. So the S of SMART means specific. That means that when you set a goal, you have to specify, and that needs to be done in a pretty narrow way what you would like to achieve. If your goal is too broad, if it's too wide, if it's too vague, chances are that it will not go anywhere. It means that you will not do other things that you would also like to achieve, but that can be another goal. But you work on something that is specific and narrow. The M in SMART means measurable, and that means that you have to define what it looks like if you're successful in achieving your goal. It will help you define whether you've met your goal or whether you've not met your goal or whether you've exceeded your goal. You have to have a measurable element in your goal. That's the M. The A in SMART means attainable, and that means that it's a goal that you would realistically be able to achieve. If it's something that's really far outside of your skill set, outside of your capabilities, your opportunities and your circumstances, the chances are very, very big that you will not be able to achieve that goal. On the other end of the spectrum, if you set something that is not challenging, is something that you can do with your eyes closed, it's not going to be a really challenging goal. And even that will mean that over time you will lose interest in achieving those. So it needs to be attainable, it needs to be challenging, it shouldn't be too hard, and it shouldn't be too easy. The R is relevant, so whatever you try to achieve needs to fit a higher purpose, either your own personal goals or the goals of the company, the objectives of the company that you work for. It needs to have a bigger purpose that you believe in and that you stand behind. If it doesn't serve that higher purpose, that bigger picture item that you're trying to achieve, over time you will lose interest and it will lose the relevance, and you will cast the goal aside and do something that is more relevant or more purposeful, which means that you will not be able to achieve this goal. The T in SMART means time bound, and that means that you set parameters in which you work to achieve this goal. Even there you have to be very realistic. It shouldn't be too short, because if it's too short or it interferes with other things that you're trying to do or other circumstances that you deal with on a day-to-day basis. On the other end, if it's a really, really long timeline that you set, more than you would normally need for a task like this, it's also not going to motivate you to do it in a timely fashion, and you may rush it or you may forget about it. Having no time limit at all is actually the worst that you can do, because then other things will take over the priority of the goal that you're trying to achieve. Looking at an example, not ideal goal could be that you want to live a more healthy lifestyle. That in and of itself is a wonderful, wonderful goal, but it's very vague and it's broad. It means different things for different people, and it can be something different for you today compared to tomorrow. So we have to break that down into something that is more smart. Okay, living a more healthy life. How would it look if we use the SMART acronym? So making it specific would mean that we go to the gym. The gym will be the specific part. The measurable element in this goal is that you state, okay, I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going 3 times a week. Attainable, the A means, is it realistic? Does it fit? Yes, 3 times a week fit, because there's 2 evenings where your spouse can take care of the children, or you can go a little bit earlier into work, and on the Saturday afternoon you don't have anything to do anyway. So 3 times you will be able to do 3 times, even if life suddenly throws a curveball. relevant? Is going to the gym relevant to your higher goal, your higher aspiration of living a more healthy life? And the answer, of course, is yes. If you go to the gym and you exercise, especially if you do it religiously 3 times a week, will help you become more healthy. So it will fit your overarching goal of living a more healthy life. The time-bound element of this goal may be that you set, okay, I'm going to do this for 3 months, because 3 months is long enough to see a difference when you go to the gym and you pull those weights and you do those exercises, that you see a change in your body and your condition and the way you generally feel about yourself. But it's also, it's short enough to say, well, in 3 months I may be ready to do something else and to ride my road bike or go rowing or go running, and there's something else that you can do. So you have that sort of as a barrier, as a fence. This is how you turn a goal into a SMART goal derived from the overarching objective of living a healthier lifestyle. You've turned a goal and made it into something SMART and potentially a lot easier to achieve. You're going to go to the gym, you're going to do that 3 times a week. It fits your schedule. It is something that is relevant to living a healthier lifestyle, and you're going to do it for 3 months, and that is perfect. So one of the downsides to this SMART method is that you break down your goals into very specific, narrow, and sometimes even small portions. And people that love innovating, that have big ideas, and their mind is programmed in a way that they have the big ideas and not necessarily the smaller fractional ideas or the practical translation of those ideas, they run into issues turning these goals, these dreams into something SMART. And I agree, that is a downside. So the way to work around that is either by yourself, if you're able to do it, or with someone who is really good at this, to break down those big ideas and those big goals into smaller chunks. It will be easier to reflect upon your goals, to check whether you've achieved them, and to see where you are, where you're tracking, where your progress is on the things that you're trying to achieve, if you break them up into smaller pieces. And the sum of those smaller pieces should still be your big idea, your big dream. Okay guys, that was it. In a nutshell, the SMART way of setting goals. As always, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.